So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how you can migrate email, contacts and calendars from Microsoft 365, also known as Microsoft Exchange, into Google's business email platform, formerly known as Google Workspace. Now, this is a tool that Google has released to make it easy for users to migrate from Microsoft 365 into their own platform, which again, I've actually used myself a couple of times and it does work very well. Now, just before we do go ahead, quick introduction. My name is Matthew from Matthew's Tech Hub. Welcome back to the video, everyone. Hope you're doing well. So without further ado, let's roll that intro and jump straight into the video. Okay, so as you can see, we're now back on the Windows 11 desktop. Now, what we're first going to do, guys, is we're going to start off by jumping into the Google Admin Center. Now, what you need to do is, if you haven't got access to the Google Admin Center or you haven't got a subscription set up already, obviously you'll need to gain access to the Admin Center and then also set up a subscription. Now, you can actually just simply Google Workspace and it will then take you through the procedure to sign up to Google Workspace, adding your card details. Then you will have to add your domain and follow the steps for that. And then once you've done that, you'll then be brought through to the Admin Center like here. Now, you don't have to pay for licenses straight away with Google Workspace. You can take out a trial if you're looking to just try it out for a couple of days, but obviously just make sure that you do cancel your licenses after you've done this migration and given Google Workspace a go if you decide to no longer stick with it. Once you're signed in, you'll be brought to this page here. And again, you can get to this just by going to admin.google.com and then just signing in with the admin account that you created during the setup procedure. Now, at the moment, all I've done, as I said, is I've added a domain into the tenant. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be moving data from Microsoft 365 over to Google Workspace. Now, the domain that I am using currently in Microsoft 365 is going to be different in Google. However, when you guys migrate, say for example, from 365 to Google, you'll probably be using the same domain name, but all the steps will pretty much be the same, but I'll clarify in a moment what I mean and what you'll need to change. Now, the first thing you need to do is you need to go down, open up the list on the left-hand side where it says Show More, and you'll then see Data right here. Then open up the Data Import and Export, and then open up Data Migrations bracket New. This will now take you into the new migration feature, which Google has recently added as far as I'm aware. And again, and this is just a really good feature that they've added that I've used a couple of times and it's worked quite seamlessly. Now, what you need to do here is you need to scroll down and you'll see that it shows all the different providers that you can migrate from to Google Workspace. So obviously we're going to be working with this one here today, which is migrating data from Microsoft, but you can also migrate from Google. So if you've got a personal Gmail account or a business, you can do that. And they also offer support for other providers. So if you're going to be migrating, for example, from Yahoo, iCloud Mail, GoDaddy, cPanel Server, or even Direct Admin. And you can also do it with Dropbox as well. But if we go back up to the Microsoft section, you'll see that you can also migrate in from Microsoft, OneDrive, SharePoint, and also your Teams chats. Now, under the Exchange Online, you're just going to click on this Migrate button right here, which will then take you through to the page in order to begin setting up the migration. Now, first step you need to do is you need to connect over to your Exchange Online account. Now, if we just quickly jump into our Admin Center in Microsoft, I need to just clarify that you will need a global administrator account. If you do not have a global administrator, then you'll need to go speak to the admin or get an account that has a global admin role. If you are the only administrator of this tenant, or if you have set up this tenant yourself, most likely the account you are using will already be a global administrator. But the way you can check that is if you go to, or when you sign in, you'll be brought here. Please go to Users and then Active Users on the left. Scroll down, you see MOD Administrator, which is my one, but obviously you'll have your name. Click on your name in the list. It will pop out the little window on the side, and you'll then see roles, and it will tell you which role you have, which you can see I've got the Global Administrator role right here. Now, once you've confirmed that you have the correct role, if we now just jump back over to Google, and we'll just click on this Connect button right here, this will then ask you then to sign in to Microsoft. So I'm going to sign in with the administrator account that I've got currently. Give that a moment just to process that there. And it will then ask you if you want to grant it permissions. These are all the permissions that Google needs basically just to pull all your data over. So it's just basically reading the mailbox data, the calendars and the contacts and a few other things as well. So just click on Accept. And then that will then just grant Google permission to connect up to your Microsoft 365 tenant. Now, once that has connected, you can then see the status change. So for example, it will show Exchange Online tenant. It will show your name. Mine is just called Contoso because I'm using a demo tenant for today's video, and it will show connected on the right hand side. So that now means that Google is now connected to your Microsoft 365 tenant. So what we now need to do is move on to step 2, which is selecting the users and then choosing whose data we want to migrate. Now you can see Google does support migrating up to 1,000 users at a time. So if you have more than this, you might need to just do it in multiple batches. However, if you are migrating this or less, obviously today I'm going to be showing how to migrate only 3 users, and it will be absolutely fine for what you're looking to do. Now, what we need to do is we need to actually upload a CSV file. So this is a file where we basically tell Google what users to migrate from and to which accounts. Now, before we do this, what I would recommend is if you haven't set up the users already, if you then just jump back into Home in Google and then go to Users under Manage right here, you'll then see a list of the users that you've currently got. So I'm going to now quickly set up the users that I'm going to migrate. So I've already got one here, which is called Adele. So I just cropped in this list here. So you'll see that in Microsoft 365, I'm going to migrate these 3 users right here. So these 3. So the next one is going to be Alex, and then the one after that is going to be Alan. So I'm going to create 2 more users. So I'm just going to go to add a new user in Google. So the next one is going to be called Alex. I'm just going to call it Alex Demo. And obviously you'll want to make sure it's going to the right domain name as well that you've already set up. And then if we then go back into Microsoft 365, and the last one is called Alan. So I just create another one for Alan. So I have alex at magicmails.org and alan at magicmails.org, which is the domain name I'm using just for today's migration. Click on continue. Google's now going to create these users. I can obviously send them the login credentials if I wish to, but I'm just going to leave that for now. I'm going to hit on dismiss right here. If I now just give this a quick refresh, I think Google might still be processing it there. Yep, there we go. So there's Alex, and then the other user should come up in just a second. Yep, there we go. And there's Alan. So now once you've created the users that you're looking to migrate over, if we just go back to the migration page, we can now download the sample CSV just on the right hand side here, and I'll show you exactly how to fill this out. Now, once you open up this document here, you'll have 2 different boxes, or 2 different rows even. So you've got a source Exchange email and then target G user. So the source is the email address of the user in Microsoft 365, and then the target user is the one that you're going to be putting into Google Workspace. So for example, if I now to go back to my Microsoft tenant, so I'm going to start off with this Adele user. So as you can see, they're using a .onmicrosoft.com domain. So if I copy this domain name here, I would paste that into the source Exchange email. You can also expand it if you wish, just at the top here. And then the target is, because obviously I'm migrating it to my own domain name, I'm going to go back into Google. I'm going to check on the email. So the email I'm going to migrate it to is adele at magicmails.org. So if I now just copy this. And then once you've pasted that domain name in, so this is now basically saying that it's going to pull the data from this user and then paste it into this user here. So copy it over to that user there. So I'll just quickly fix that spelling mistake there. There we go. Now you've got to do this for all users. Now I appreciate if you have got quite a few users, it might take a bit of time to fill this out if you're dealing with hundreds of users. But unfortunately, this is the only way that you can make it work in Google Workspace if you are using this method. Now I'm going to do this now for the next users. So I'm just going to pause the video and I'll be back with you guys in just a moment. Okay, so as you can see now, I've now filled out this Excel spreadsheet. So this has got the users' emails, which are in Microsoft 365, and this is now the emails that I've got set up now currently in Google Workspace. So once you've done that, you can now just go ahead and save the file. And then once that's saved, we just come out the Excel spreadsheet completely, jump back into Google, go back to the page we're on, which is step 2, and we just go to this upload CSV right here. And if we then just upload this CSV, which is with my downloads, and that's now going to upload, and then Google's just going to quickly process that now, as you can see on the right, and that's now going to have a read just to make sure that it's all correct. Again, it may take a moment just depending on how many users you're dealing with. Then once Google has checked on the file, you'll now see it says all rows uploaded for migration maps, and it should have a little check mark just confirming that's all okay. Now the next step is step 3, so this is to configure the actual migration settings itself. So this is the more important one. So if we click on edit settings right here, now, this is where you want to choose what data you actually want to copy into Google Workspace. So I'm going to leave it to default to actually copy over the emails, calendar, and contacts. So that's everything that this migration option is available. And you've then got the date range. So this is, again, how far back you want it to migrate the data from. So I want it to basically migrate everything. So if you wanted to migrate everything, let's say you've got emails going back to, say, 2015, you can obviously set this to 2015 or before, and it will just migrate absolutely everything. But if you've maybe got emails prior to 2000, which is the default date, then obviously you'll want to update this to go back even further if you need to go back. So you just set on the start date on what you want to be here for those emails to be pulled across. Now, the next section is email options. So you can include deleted emails, include junk emails, and specific folders. So again, I wouldn't mind including those, maybe not junk emails because that doesn't really matter because obviously they're junk, but if your client or yourself want this, then obviously you can just do that. And you can also exclude specific folders as well. So just enter the folder names and then obviously separated by commas. So for example, maybe like cars folder, maybe one like water or something, if they've got different folder names, etc. You can just input those ones specifically there. Now you can also copy over additional calendars if you wish. Again, more information can be found about that just by clicking on this one here, but we're not going to be using this feature in today's demo. And then again, just scrolling down, you've then got more options here. So we've got calendar events and contacts for non-migrated users. And again, we can upload a list of email addresses for non-migrated if we're going to be doing that. But again, we're not going to be migrating this data over today. Now, this next section is if users in the list you uploaded copy their addresses and either keep the same domain name or assign a different domain name. So I want to actually keep the same domain name because obviously I've already set which domain name in that file, but obviously maybe you've uploaded them and you want them to go to a different domain. Obviously you can also specify this option right here as well by changing it and then selecting a different domain if you have multiple domains connected to your Google Workspace tenant already. So I'm going to leave that as keep the same domain name. We're going to hit save. And then once that's done, you can then just have a quick look at this overall, like what the migration job is doing. And it shows everything here. So it means all email calendar data will be copied from January 1st for your organization and all contacts will also be copied. So that's brilliant. That's exactly what we want. Now, after you've done this, you're just simply going to hit on the start migration in the bottom right-hand corner. And then this will now begin the process of migrating the data. And you can actually see it all in live time just in this section down here. And you'll see that it is updated every 10 seconds. So if we now just wait up for about 10 seconds, you'll see it will begin populating. And you can see right here on the right now, it says emails discovered. And that is now going to start filling up. And again, as you can see here, emails migrated. So it's already pulled over 9 emails. And that is now going to automatically continue running. Now, if you do come off this page, don't worry, the migration will still run. I appreciate if you are dealing with quite a lot of users and data, this will take a bit of time. Microsoft also limits how much data you can pull over in a certain time, so they might also throttle it. So just give it a few hours or even a couple of days, depending on how much data is being migrated. But most migrations I've dealt with, especially larger ones, have gone through within about 24 hours time. Now, if you do need to check how large the migrations are going to be or how much data your users have, you can actually just jump back into Microsoft 365, click on the user specifically, go to Mail on the right, as you can see up here, and it will then just load and just calculate how much data that user is using. So as you can see, Adele is only using 3 megs, which is pretty much nothing at all. If we then just check on Alex's, we go over to Mail. You'll see he's only using 2 megs, again, pretty much nothing. And if we then jump into Alan, and then go into Mail, again, only 4 megs. So this migration should go through very, very quickly. Now, as you can see already, if I just quickly check on this now, it now says successful. So it looks like a lot at the moment, 137 items have been successful. Obviously, if there are any emails that might not be supported or any errors during the process, you will see them under failed, warning, or skipped. But again, if you want to put data across, if you can either run the migration job again. Otherwise, if it's not working, then you may possibly need to do a manual migration, maybe even using a PST file. I'll put a link on the screen now and in the pop-out banner in the corner so you can check out my video on how to do that manually if you're looking to do it that method instead. Now, unfortunately today I will not be covering how to migrate over Teams, SharePoint or OneDrive. However, I will make a video on this. So if you guys are interested in finding out how to do this, let me know and I can also fire up a video on how to do that method as well. Now, in terms, if you're looking to see the overall migration reports, you can see at the bottom here, we've got export user report and also export migration logs. So you can also click on those and it will give you a report of what the data is. So if I just go to export user report here, I'll just show you what the file looks like. Again, it will take a moment just because Google needs to generate that report. So I'll let that generate and I'll be back with you in just a moment. Now, once it's generated this report, you can just click on here where it says open in Google Sheets. So we just click on this. And this will now open up the migration report. And you can actually see and keep checking on how many users have been completed. So you can see now that all of my users have been migrated. So for example, Adele has migrated 4 emails, Alex has done 34, and then Alan has done 56. And again, if there is any issues, it will tell you, but you can see it's also migrated the calendars. but unfortunately these users didn't have any contacts stored, so that's why contact says 0. Now, if we then go back into the then go back into the migration report, you'll see at the top as well, it does also say complete, so that is how you know once your migration has completed. You can also export the migration logs, so that will actually tell you what data has been migrated over. So again, you might find that more helpful if you're looking to specify or find out which files and folders might have possibly failed. Now, once that data has migrated over, you can now just begin handing over the credentials to your users. Now again, once you created the user, you may have taken the note of their credentials, which you may have already sent over to them, maybe to an alternative email that they can receive on. If not, you can obviously just go ahead now, reset their password, and then just give them their credentials, and then they can then add their email accounts to their clients, and that will then now pull through the emails that you've just migrated over. And that is pretty much it. So obviously, if you guys found this helpful, please smash that like button to get this video into the YouTube algorithm. Please also hit that subscribe button to continue supporting the channel. And again, if you have any feedback or any questions, please let me know down in the comments, because I do always check them out. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. Until next time, I'll see you then. Bye for now.